Hidden in those planters are human remains, dismembered, mixed with soil and roots, buried among flowers. Piece by piece, through forensic work and DNA, 8 victims are identified, some from planters, 1 from the ravine behind the property. The men the city thought had walked away, started over, or simply vanished. They were in the gardens, all along. In January 2019, Bruce MacArthur stands in an Ontario courtroom and pleads guilty to 8 counts of first-degree murder. The oldest known serial killer in Canadian history, the most prolific ever identified in Toronto. He admits what everyone now knows. Between 2010 and 2017, he targeted men tied to Church and Wellesley, many racialized, many closeted, many living at the margins. He lured them with sex. He killed them, often in his bedroom, often by ligature strangulation. He took photos of their bodies. He kept trophies. He buried them in the very gardens his clients paid him to beautify. He is sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. He'll be 91 before he can even ask. But the damage he leaves behind is bigger than one man. In the fallout, an independent review finds systemic discrimination in how Toronto police handled missing persons cases, especially when the missing were queer, racialized, homeless, or living double lives. The report concludes that culture and structure inside the service made it harder to see the pattern, harder to treat these disappearances as urgent, harder to connect the dots. For years, the community said, "Something is wrong. Someone is out there." For years, the system said, "We have no evidence of a serial killer." Both were technically true, but only one side was dying while they waited for proof. In the end, Bruce MacArthur was not a mastermind. He was a gardener who learned how to work in the shadows of a city, willing to look away from certain people in certain neighborhoods, living certain kinds of lives. He used that blind spot the way he used his tools, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. 8 men walked into his orbit and never walked back out. And tonight, Church and Wellesley still glows with neon and music. But underneath the lights, there's a lesson carved into the concrete. It's not the monster in the dark that's most dangerous. It's the monster everyone already knows. The one tending your roses, while you convince yourself that nothing terrible could grow there.